It's MC Monte in the place to be. Welcome to the adventures of MC Monte. This month's theme, the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Black Ranger. Yeah. I'm very excited about this series and I'm very excited about this video. Now I must admit, this is one of the hardest cosplay builds I've done so far, just because I had to figure out so many details that goes into the original Black Ranger helmet. If you enjoy my videos, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. Everything you'll need to complete this build is listed in the description below. So let's gather our supplies and let's get to it.
Cut out the templates for the front and the back of your helmet. Trace them onto EVA foam and cut it out. Remember to flip the template over so that you can mirror the image. As you can see, I'm flipping over the pattern to mirror the image and making sure the center is connected. Once you're done tracing, cut it out. Make sure your blade is sharp and you're getting clean cuts. Remember to cut out the mouthpiece. When you're done, the front will look like this. Repeat for the back of the helmet. Trace it onto your EVA foam. Flip it so that you can mirror the image. Make sure you use the arrows to connect the center at the correct points. Use your heat gun to shape your foam and get ready to glue it together. I'm using 10mm EVA foam, by the way. I'm going to use contact cement, so that means I need to wear my respirator to keep my lungs safe. If you're using contact cement, do the same. Put glue in the inside of all the seams and get ready to glue all the seams together. Carefully glue all the seams together. Take your time to press the seams together and get a smooth connection, and make sure everything is aligned properly. When you're done, the back will look like this. Repeat the same thing for the front. Press the seams together carefully. Take your time so that you get a clean seam. When you're done, you'll have a front and a back piece that look like this, two halves. Next, trace and cut out the template for the chin piece. I'm using my heat gun to smooth it out and get it ready for glue. and to smooth out the edges. Glue your chin piece into the inside of the front of the helmet. The chin piece will line up with the edges of the helmet perfectly. Take your time and glue it into place. Next, trace the visor cutout area onto your front of the base of your helmet. I'm going to try to add this into the helmet template, but if I can't get it right, I'll just include the visor cutout and you'll use the same template I'm using now to trace where the visor will go. The visor area will have the shapes for the horn and the trunk as well. Cut this part out of the front of your helmet. When you're done, it will look like this. Next, trace and cut out the template for the horns. I'm using my heat gun to smooth them out and get them ready for glue and to smooth out the edges. Next, trace where the horns need to go onto the side of your helmet so you know where to put the glue and you have a guideline to glue your horns onto the side of the helmet. Glue your horns onto the side of the helmet. Sorry about the bad lighting right here. I didn't realize that my camera had a fingerprint on it and I needed to wipe off the lens. But I'm cutting out the trunk. So use your template for the trunk and cut it out and get ready to glue it together. As you can see, I added a big notch in the center and two small notches on the side, and that's so the trunk can go in the center of the visor and curve over the top of the helmet all in one piece. Now prep your trunk piece so that you can glue all the seams together. And while my contact cement is curing, I'm marking all the places that I need to put the lines that go on the front of the trunk. And I'm going to draw the lines and use my X-Acto knife to score the lines into the EVA foam. and then I'm going to use my heat gun to open up the cuts even more. Glue the seams of your trunk piece together. And then trace where the trunk piece needs to go on the center of the helmet. Use the guide templates for the eyes to trace where the eyes need to go. And using your Dremel or your X-Acto knife, score the detail lines under the eyes. Next, use your eye template to cut out the eyes. Use your Dremel to smooth out the edges of the eyes and make them round. Put contact cement on the top of the helmet and prep where the eyes need to be glued into place and prep where the trunk needs to be glued into place. I'm putting glue on the back of my eyes and on the back of my trunk so that I can glue them to the top of the helmet. Glue your eyes into place on each side, and then glue your trunk into place. The trunk will go slightly over the eyes. Take your time and get everything in the proper position. When you're done, it will look like this. Next, you're going to use this template guide to mark where the score line goes from the trunk over to the horn, and then use your X-Acto knife to score that line and use your heat gun to open it up some more. Use your Dremel to smooth out the edges of your horn, the trunk, and also to smooth out the mouthpiece, the mouth opening. I use the heat gun to heal it and make it all smooth. Repeat for the trunk. And then finally do the same thing for the opening of the mouthpiece. After I use my dremel to smooth out all my edges and to smooth out my seams, I'm using Quick Seal to fill in any gaps and to make my seams invisible. So put a little bit of Quick Seal on the seams, and you can use a sculpting tool to fill in the gaps and press the Quick Seal into the gaps and the seams, and then use water to smooth it all out. I did this for the front and the back of the helmet. Here you can see me working on the seams for the back of the helmet. And the more you do this, the better you get at hiding your seams. Next, cut out 2 strips that are about 2 inches wide and 4 inches long, and glue them into the side of the back of the helmet. So I'm tracing where I want the glue to go so I can glue these onto the side of the back of the helmet. And it's going to help hide the seam that's going to be created when the front and the back of the helmet meet. Glue it into position, and that's going to help hide the seam where the front and the back of the helmet meet. Next, put glue on the front and the back of the 2 halves of the helmet and glue them together. Notice that I am gluing only the top part of the helmet, the front and the back. I'm not putting glue all the way down the side as well. That way it'll create an opening so that you can put your head into the helmet. So the top of the helmet pieces are being glued together, but as you can see on the side it's not open. So I glue from there to there. Next, prime your helmet. I used black Plasti Dip to prime. Now it's time to cut out the visor. So use the visor guide to cut out the visor. I cut tiny notches into the visor so that it couldn't bend and flex because my plastic for my visor was very stiff. Now I have to trace the line where I need the glue to go in the inside of the helmet, and put glue on the inside and put glue on the visor and glue the visor into position. Now I'm gluing the visor into the inside of the helmet and making sure it's secure and that it will stay in place. You can also reinforce the inside of the visor with 2mm EVA foam. And that's what it would look like when your visor is in place. Using the template for the mouthpiece, trace and cut out the mouthpiece onto EVA foam. I created the lips by using Fomo, EVA foam clay, and stuffing it into the mouthpiece of a silver mask that I had. And then after it dries, you'll have the lips. Then I smoothed out the lips with my dremel and glued them on the top of the EVA foam mouthpiece. After I glue the lips onto the center of the mouthpiece, I glued the entire mouthpiece into the helmet from the back, from the inside. Next, I'm going to cut out the detail piece that goes around the bottom of the mouth plate. Cut out this detail piece for the mouth plate and then glue it onto the bottom of the mouth plate. Carefully glue this into position in the center. Next, we're going to create closures for the side of the helmet. Cut a piece of EVA foam that is 2 inches long and glue it onto the side of the helmet. The back is going to have velcro and the front is going to glue directly to the helmet. That creates a clamp closure for the side of the helmet. Next, cut out the template for the ears. Trace where you need the ears to go and glue them into position. Also, I'm cutting a dividing line onto the ears so that the ears can allow the helmet to open and close. I glue the front half of the ear onto the front and the back half of the ear onto the back. And last but not least, paint your helmet. The base of the helmet is black. The horns, the mouthpiece, and the detailed lines around the visor need to be silver. The lines of the trunk are silver, and the eyes are yellow gold.
And there you have it. Your Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Black Ranger helmet is complete. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, please hit that like button and subscribe. And share this video with your cosplay community. Join me next time as we continue to build our Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Black Ranger cosplay. Always remember, adventure awaits, so get out into the world and explore. I'll see you next time. Peace.